What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed that creepy, eerie, cinematic, whatever kind of intro you want to call it. Really the main idea behind that was that I needed an intro for my video, or a new intro for my video, and I wanted to film something different. Every once in a while I'll probably throw in something cool like that, doing something cinematic or just a different type of intro besides just me sitting here and talking. So if you guys liked it, be sure to drop a like. I really appreciate it. Hopefully it kind of accomplished that creepy, weird vibe that I was going for. Really the way that it came out was that it was dark outside. The house looked kind of creepy without the lights on because I was watching some TV before. I really just picked up a camera and started filming everything that was around me. As you saw, I went and got some shots outside. I came back inside and got a few more shots as well. And really all I did was move around with my one light and basically just cut together that short sequence. So hopefully that was really cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully it wasn't too scary. As I come up with ideas or just figure out stuff to film as I'm going along, I'll probably throw in little short clips like that. So if you've been following along with any sort of Adobe news in the recent past, or you just happen to log into Creative Cloud and notice I have a bunch of app updates that I need to do now, then you probably know that there are some really cool new features that came out, one of which can save you a ton of time and I think is really cool, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. If you haven't read the title already, then spoiler alert, it's the auto reframe feature. It uses Adobe Sensei, which is Adobe's AI in their programming that comes with Premiere Pro and a bunch of other programs. They're now using AI to do a bunch of really cool things, but for the feature that we're talking about right now, Adobe Sensei basically looks at your footage, looks at the motion that you have in the footage along with all of the important subjects, and when you tell it to reframe to another aspect ratio, it basically takes all of that motion and it keyframes it for you so that you have all of your subjects and your motion centered within the new aspect ratio that you're telling it to do. Most of the time, this, especially for content creators like me, what's gonna happen is you're gonna take a big 16:9 video, a horizontal video, or 2:1, which is a lot of what I've been putting my videos out as in terms of aspect ratio, and then shrinking that down to like a vertical 9:16, which you can then take and you can post to your Instagram account, or you can post to like Instagram stories. Actually for timeline, you're usually going to do 4:5. So if you want to do that, that's an option. And then vertical 9:16 is going to be things like IGTV or Instagram stories. And it just works out really well because it takes up the most amount of real estate on the screen so that people can engage with your content and stay on it longer as they're scrolling past. Now, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I usually post really cool pictures that I take or that I edit, and it's a really good place to reach out to me and talk and discuss about things or ask me questions as well. All of the links for that are going to be in the description. So for all social media, it's pretty much at Raul NU for all of my social media. And if you guys just want to click on it and follow me, I'd greatly appreciate that as well. All right, so why is this feature cool or important, you might ask? Well, several reasons. One, it allows you to repurpose content that you already have. So for example, I had a video that I will link either up here or here. It's in one of the corners. I don't really know which one it is. But anyway, I had Camera Basics Part 1 that I filmed a couple of weeks ago. And so I want to take that video and repurpose it, or at least make a little bit of a trailer for it so that people get an idea of what this channel's about and what they can expect when they click on it and watch my videos. So I want to take portions of that video, chop it down into a little trailer, and then repurpose it for posting on Instagram. Now, if I want to do that, usually what would happen is I'd need to create a new sequence, import all those clips, and then basically go through and keyframe all my positions so that the video looks nice and centered for Instagram in the new aspect ratio. So you're basically going from a horizontal video to cutting off the edges and just making a vertical video. So all of your action and your talking head stuff basically needs to be centered right in the middle of the frame, because you're cutting off a lot of the corners that you would have in a horizontal video, like my regular 2:1s, like YouTube videos, like the thing that you're watching it on now. So one, you get to repurpose it for social media. 2, you don't have to actually create the sequence and keyframe it yourself, which can be a really big pain. Even if you're good at it for like a short trailer with a couple clips, you're probably looking at a solid 30 minutes to just reframe all of those and make sure that everything's centered and in your image properly. And then the third thing is basically all of this that we just talked about amounts to time saving. And that's a really big part of what you do, especially if you're a content creator, because every little bit counts. Every minute earned in editing is a minute that you can use towards something else or filming another video, and that's really important. So if the more time you can save and the more you can use these cool features, the better for everyone, right? All right, so let's jump into it and see what this feature looks like. All right, so here we are in Premiere Pro. I already have a couple of clips that I've selected to make a trailer of this video of mine that was Camera Basics Part 1. Once again, I'll link it up here. And also remember that if you have a friend that's just starting out, or you know someone that could use a Camera Basics video, then don't forget to share with your friends as well. Tell them to subscribe. That's the cool thing to do. So anyway, I want to take these clips that I have and basically create an IGTV video or a video that I can use in my Instagram stories. If you look at my screen, the original sequence that I have is in 24 frames a second, or 23.976 frames a second. Close enough. I already have all of the clips loaded that I want to use, and I have them selected already. As you can see from the sequence, it's currently a 2:1 aspect ratio, since that's how I edit most of my videos now. It takes up the most amount of real estate on your screen, especially if you're watching it like on a cell phone, which most people probably do. Now, I want to take that 2:1 video and I want to repurpose it to 9:16, which once again is a really good aspect ratio for Instagram stories or IGTV, which is the main purpose that I want to use this video for. In order to do that, we're going to use the auto reframe feature. So there are several ways to get to this feature. One, you can right click on your sequence and then just choose auto reframe. 2, you can also search for it in your effects panel and then drop it on your clip. The third way that you can do it is you can go up to the sequence menu and you can go down until you see auto reframe sequence, click that, choose your settings, and then hit create. I'm going to choose the easy way of doing things. So as you can see, we're just going to right click on the sequence in my project bins and then select auto reframe. Now, once you do this, a dialog box is going to pop up and it's going to ask you to put in the settings that you want to use and whether or not you want to nest your clips or not. In this case, I don't want to nest my clips because I want it to do all of the motion adjustments for me. Sometimes it might be a good idea, like it says in the dialog box, to nest your clips if you've already done a lot of motion adjustments or position adjustments and you want the clips to save that motion adjustment. If you select don't nest clips, it's going to erase out all of that motion that you did yourself, and it'll basically do exactly what it says, reframe and rekey the position so that it's all centered in frame. Most of the time, especially for the content that I create, I'm not going to choose nest clips. I'm just going to choose don't nest clips and then create all the motion adjustments for me, because that's really what I'm looking for to do anyway. So I'm going to rename my sequence that's going to pop up because I really like labeling things, and choose vertical 9:16 for vertical video along with slower motion in this one, since there really isn't a lot of moving around in this video. Now, you'll still be able to tell in the background that Adobe recentered this video, especially if you watch kind of some of the stuff moving in the background in the video that I'm going to show you guys in the timeline. Because, like, for example, my head moves back and forth when I talk sometimes. So Adobe is going to try to keep all of that in the center of the frame so that when you have a vertical 9:16, it'll look nice and your head will still be in the center of the frame. Now, if you have something like faster motion, like sports clips, or you're reframing like a snowboarding video, let's say, or you do a lot of like GoPro videos type stuff, and you want to reframe it for that vertical video, then you might want to choose faster motion. In this case, I'm going to choose slower motion because, like I said, there really isn't a lot of motion in this video that I'm reframing. But like a sports video would have a lot more action, or like a drone clip or something like that, so you may want it to follow the action a little bit more closely. And last but not least, like I said, I'm going to hit don't nest clips, and then I'll just hit the create button. And there you go. So as you can see, it's created another bin with a reframe sequence. It's still in 24 FPS because that's what I filmed it at originally, and that's what the new sequence is going to be at as well. And if we click on the new sequence in the timeline window, there you go. You can see that it changed it to a vertical video. If I play through a little bit of it, you can see that it's reframed me in the middle of the window, like I said. And all of the clips, if you look in the effects control window, also generated a whole bunch of position keyframes to reframe the video in the new aspect ratio. Before this feature, you'd basically have to go in, and all of those keyframes that you see, you'd probably have to manually do at least some of them in order to position yourself in the middle of the frame. Like I said, even if you're fast, you're looking at least probably 30-40 minutes just to reframe everything and make sure it looks perfect. This, with AI, has done it for you automatically. Isn't technology great? If you're using motion graphics as well, which is within Premiere Pro, where you can drop text into your videos, that'll reframe as well, specific to every single video. So if you do one by one, which is a square video for Instagram, let's say, it'll reframe the motion graphics differently than it will reframe it for 9:16. It'll be smaller. It really depends on the kind of video that you have and the motion graphics that you use and how big it is. But the cool thing is that it dynamically scales for each one of the aspect ratios that you choose. So you're not just gonna get one blanket motion graphic, or it's not just gonna put it in the middle. It'll usually reframe it sort of to how you had it in the original aspect ratio, but it'll try to keep the proportions right for the new aspect ratio that you use. In this case, as you can see, probably as the video's going by, I was actually messing around with After Effects compositions, and it linked to my timeline. So basically what I did was I selected the clips, right-clicked, and I dynamic linked it over to After Effects so I can write in some stuff. And then also there was a graphic that I had moving through the video. So because of that, and because it's a linked composition, that stuff doesn't translate as well. So you'll see that some of the text is cut off in the reframing of the video. Now, I don't know if that's ever gonna be fixed in the future. Hopefully that's something they can look into. But for now, motion graphics usually translate better than After Effects linked composition. So if you have stuff in After Effects that you're bringing into Premiere Pro, just know that as far as like text is concerned, that may not transfer over the best. All right, so there you go. That's it. That's auto reframe. That's basically all you need to know to get started. Now you can go ahead and take the videos that you have in one aspect ratio, reframe them, repurpose them, repackage them, and put them out on all of your social media for everyone to enjoy and see. So that's really cool. I think AI technology is gonna definitely be a key in all future editing type software, maybe even in cameras going forward. It's definitely gonna be a huge asset, a time saver in most cases. They're creating some really useful tools for you to be able to use in your editing workflow. All right, so that does it for my video. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, and liking on this video. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed so already, please do so for more tutorials, more in-depth topics like camera basics that I did. And please let me know any topics that you guys would like to see, any specific tutorials or topics you want to see covered, and I'll try to make sure to do my best to cover those topics for you guys. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined the channel recently. I welcome all of my subscribers, and if you're new and you've watched this video and you haven't subscribed, then I encourage you to hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell button as well, so that you know when I post new videos and so that you don't miss out on anything, especially moving forward. Until next time, go out and do something you love, be creative, and I'll see you guys in the next one. La rivedere.